Hello, everybody. Good afternoon. I hope you're doing well. And today is my daughter's birthday, but my employees have fixed this live. So I decided that I was also going to just pop on here. First of all, thank you for all the birthday wishes. Thank you for all the nice things. We've had a little celebration for her this morning. She's now gone to the hospital with her dad, and we're going to be having a nice birthday celebration for her on Saturday. So a couple of people are coming here to visit us from Nigeria, from the UK, Canada, and different places. We appreciate all the love. And today I'm going to be talking about a very, very important topic. During the, we were supposed to go to the hospital together, but the dad said, that's a very crucial topic. I'll take her alone and you take care of business there and talk about that with her people. The topic we're going to talk about today is how to convert your visitor's visa to work visa. What is the reality? What are your options? Thank you, everybody, for all the warm wishes. She appreciates it, and I want to tell you, we call her the people's princess because you guys know hospital because she has to go and do her checkup every 3 months, 2 months. The pediatrician will ask us to bring her to the hospital. So at 1, she has to take some vaccine and do some visits. So she's there, and we call her the People's Princess because you guys have been very kind to us. When we had Molly, we got over $30,000 in gift from people I know personally, from people I don't, from followers on Instagram, Facebook, different places. Today, a lot of you have reached out. Doctor, give us Amazon, what is it called? Registry. Let's buy her something. Thank you all for all the love. Thank you for raising her with me. And I really do not take it for granted. All the different videos on raising kids, all the different gifts that shows up. Some still showed up here yesterday evening from different aunties and uncles. Thank you all. Now, let's just deep dive into this very serious topic. And as a career coach, we don't have a lot of career coaches like me who focus on helping everybody in here when it comes to Black career coaches. Thank you, everybody, for the wishes. A lot of the career coaches we have, they've picked a lane. Maybe they're actually business analysts. They're trying to make everybody become a business analyst, or they're a project manager. They want everybody to become in my case, I'm a neutral career coach. My aim is to help you maximize what you have. Now, oftentimes when people are trying to relocate to Canada or they've gotten there with visitor's visa, their cousin, their uncle, word of mouth, we tell them, go and meet Dr. Hadi. Go and meet Dr. Hadi. Dr. Hadi is going to help you understand how you're going to get a job. This is the notion. So on February 28th this year, the government extended this policy. That policy was started 2 years ago. The policy that you can come to Canada as a visitor and you can stay back in Canada to get a job. That policy was supposed to expire at the end of February this year. Instead of expiring, the government extended it by a couple of more years, 2 more years, which is fantastic. And I think once the government extended it is when a lot of people got to hear about it, so that you can change your visitor's visa to work visa. Come and see everybody's excitement. I was also excited for that because I want people to be able to have multiple options to come to Canada. Now, I want to talk about some realities of this situation because some people are in dilemma right now because they have now come to Canada on visitor's visa and trying to get a job. And they're in a DM, and I'm hoping that I can help you find the right process to be able to get this, to be able to move ahead here. If you know anyone in this situation, when we finish, please make sure to send this video to them. The first thing to know is this. If Canada will give you a visitor's visa, you actually have your head on your shoulder. That means you have a good job, you have some money in your account, you have some reputation. That is why you got that visitor's visa in the first place. It is very difficult to get Canadian visitor visa. So when you get it, it's because you have something good going for you. Or you have a family, there's a tie. You have some houses, you have something that is tangible. That's why they have approved that visitor's visa. Now you are coming to Canada believing that you won't go back home. Let me tell you, you have 6 months to get that job. If you don't get that job by month 5, it's either you're doing an inspection or going back home. And I'm telling you this because it is not fair to you for you to become an illegal immigrant in Canada. Canada is not America. It's not that hard to get Canada's paper. Why should you be an illegal immigrant in this country? It's not fair to you. You should never get to a point where anybody tells you to become an illegal immigrant. This visitor to work permit thing should never be a do or die. You have your head on your shoulder. That is why you are actually in Canada in the first place as a visitor. All the different criteria, you met it. You had a good job. You have family which shows ties to your own country. You probably had a house. You have money to show in your account. You are not hungry. So I wanted to clarify that first. It's not a do or die if it's not possible. Be ready to know if it doesn't work. The same government that gave me this visa to come on visitor, I can come back anytime I need to when I am fully prepared. Now, if you're still back home in Nigeria, you have gotten your visitor's visa. The best time to start to look for a job or try to understand the process is before you leave Nigeria. Before you leave Nigeria, you have enough time to understand, am I in a career path that can give me job? If I'm in a career path that can give me job, do I have a good resume? Do I understand, is the requirement to get a job in Canada for my role? If I'm a human resource business partner, HR business partner in Nigeria, I have 10 years experience. And I've gotten this visa, it's a visitor's visa to go to Canada. I want to get an HR business partner job in Canada. Is the requirement the same? Are the technical skills the same? You need to have understand all of that before you leave Nigeria. Why? Because we could find out that the criteria to get a job in Canada for the same job, the type of softwares they use, the certification they want, you may not have it. If you don't have it and you didn't know, and you approach Canada believing that you'll get a job when you get there, now you meet a stumbling block. Let's say for HR business partner, you need to have their HR license for it to be easy for you. The HR license, the process takes 2 years, and you didn't know. You enter plane, you came to Canada believing you will get an HR job, and there is this license that is almost very critical. You don't need it, it's not compulsory, but it would help. And you didn't know. You didn't even know there are some softwares that you need to know. You just came. It will be a lot tougher for you. So if you are coming to Canada as a visitor with a aim to get it converted to work visa, start understanding the process from back home. Number 2 is you need to know all your options available. A lot of time, people come to Canada and expect that they are going to get a job now. Is there any other option? If you are less than 32, if you are less than 32, if you are 30, 29, you don't need to come and roast away in Canada as a visitor. There are options for your 29, you have 3 years experience, you have a master's, you qualify for express entry. Especially if you are in STEM, you are in biomedical science, you are in accounting, you are all of that, you qualify. Go and apply for express entry instead of coming to do or die visitor's visa. If you are older than that, there are other provinces that you can go to. Know all your options. Study visa to work permit should never be your only option. Have your multiple options highlighted. Come to Canada with full information. Don't try to come to Canada on visitor's visa, walking blindly and doing like this. Don't do that to yourself. You need to have sat with a career coach. They have figured out which provinces are you viable for. You qualify for this, you didn't qualify. You must have done that first. Because the option of converting to visitor's visa is one of the riskiest options. It's also one of the hardest options. You should consider that option if you do not qualify for any provincial nominee program and you are sure. You have sat with a RCIC or Dr. Adi or somebody, they've looked at all the methods, they've told you no get chance. Because a lot of you, even at 44, you still qualify for some provinces. If you qualify for permanent residency, why should you come to Canada on a visitor's visa and be running kitkata everywhere? Is it possible to convert? We will get there. We are at knowing your options. You need to know all your options. Some people are always thinking, I want work. You want work. You have been running business for 15 years. You have not worked in any corporate organization. You don't even know the job title that you have. And you are telling me, I want to come and work in Canada. I have visitor's visa. You want to come and work as what? Can you come down from your high horse and la la land? Come and work as what? Yeah, I've been running my own company. Now they gave me visitors visa. They gave you visitors visa because you have FT money in your account. You have been running your own company. What is the job that you want to come and get now? Remember, you have been running your own company. Yes, you are everything. You are a lot of things. Maybe you are, and we can claim different things for you. That being said, you don't know who you are. And you are showing up in Canada to come and apply for what job? You don't know. If you are coming to Canada on a study visa and on a visitor's visa and wanted to convert it to work visa, do not come clueless. You cannot come clueless. You have to come with understanding, full understanding of your options, not the one your cousin told you. The one that you know you have confirmed from people who this is what they do for job. A lawyer, an RCIC, a career coach. Not those ones that want to send you data analytics course. You know, I see this trend everywhere. People are saying they are looking for visitors visa. They'll say, if you do data analytics course, do you think people who are looking to hire want to hire entry level? You want to convert from law. You want to go and take data analytics course, thinking when you finish, you now get a job in Canada. Employers don't hire entry level and give you LMIA. No. They don't hire entry level and give you LMIA. They hire people that they truly need. That means you have to be experienced. You are not experienced in data analytics that you just learned yesterday. They taught you Power BI and Kinikon. You think you know everything. You should now find you a job. For where? I am emphasizing this because many people show up in our DM to say, I have visitors visa. I've also gone to this place. I've learned data analytics. What do you know? They taught me Power BI and Excel and SQL. I know those three. So they say, I'm ready for data analytics market. What is your background? Yes, I've been working in real estate for 9 years. But they say it's data analytics that can enter and give me a job in Canada. Nobody wants to hire entry level and give you papers. They want to hire people who have experience, who have demonstrated that, because giving you LMIA is going to inconvenience the employer. The employer is going to pay for that LMIA. It's going to prove to the government that they couldn't find anybody within the country. They can find entry level. There are people graduating from college. I'm saying this because a lot of you, instead of staying in your lane, and let us evaluate where you are in your lane. Are there jobs? So that you can claim this 10 years of experience, so that you can convert your visitor's visa. A lie is a lie. They are running kitakata to business analysis. Now you bring 0 work experience and your visitor's visa and say, Dr. Adi, run this magic. It's only magic that can do that one. When you're coming, come with an understanding of what work experience do I have? How many years of work experience do I have? If I want to do this work in Canada, are there jobs in this field? Or are there jobs in very close field that I can transfer to and I will be able to use my experience and secure jobs? For this particular job in Canada, what is the criteria to get me this type of job? Do I need some skills that I need to learn for me to prove that I can do this same job that I do here in Nigeria? What is needed to do it there? Let's know it before you leave. What are your other options? Do I qualify for other provinces? Number 2, me, I don't qualify. I'm already 50 years old. So I don't qualify for any province. Okay, can I go to school in Canada? You are already in Canada on a visitor's visa. You are there for 2 months. You don't understand where you're going to get a job. You are listening to Dr. Adi right now. It's looking like he's not sure for you. Go and find a school. Get into a school. If you feel like, you're not sure for me, maybe first you should book a session with Dr. Adi, 1 hour. Let's figure out, is your career good enough? Can we actually get to package you and see whether you will get a job? While we're trying to see whether you are going to get a job, number 2 is let's apply to a school for you. You got to always have a plan B. You can't just come and be believing that because this getting a job is not sure, except if you are using an agent that has collected $20,000 from you. Because there are agents in Canada, some people don't turn themselves to agent, they go say, give me money, I will give you job offer. These people, they'll collect 20K from you, say they will give you job offer. From that one can be sure to some extent if they don't want to dupe you. Now, if you have that 20,000 that you want to give them for a job with LMIA, then don't do a plan B. But if you don't have that 20,000 that you want to give to them for LMIA, you got to come to the next boot camp. You got to come and understand what is my career paths. How do I do a resume that will pass through everything? How do I do an interview? I will wow everybody in that interview. They will give me that job. Because if you don't know what is the right career path I should be targeting, you don't understand Canadian resume. You bring this resume where they don't cook for you for alagbado, where they don't cook them. It don't burn. The resume burn. They put your date of birth, everything on top. It will not work in Canada. Or you that you think, I have found a resume template online, is Canadian. But that the resume format you found online is not going to make you the top 1%. When you're trying to get a job that requires them to file paper for you, you got to be in the top 1% during application. Your resume must it must pass through the applicant tracking system. It must go through a recruiter. When a recruiter sees it, they must say, wow, this is amazing. I need to pass this person to the hiring manager. When the hiring manager sees your resume, they must be saying, yeah, I want to interview that person. And you must be able to slay that interview. If you don't understand all of those processes, you aren't getting no LMIA. Because LMIA is for people who are highly qualified. If a company is going to put their name on the line, they will only do it for somebody who is highly qualified. You can't just say, I don't know the career pathway I want to do. I don't even know if this resume good. Now my cousin check out. So this, I don't apply. You don't apply 100 job. You don't get response. You still apply. If you are knocking on the door 100 times, it's not opening. You got to change strategy. You need to use key. Because it doesn't look like it's going to open the door. Let's get you key. You have been applying even before you left Nigeria. You didn't hear back. You will never hear back if you continue to apply. It's a waste of time. Let's help you get the key. Because it's important for us to know all of these things. Because people have continued to apply to jobs without first of all knowing. Let me give you an example. This happened to me twice in like 24 hours. My last client that I spoke to yesterday, I told her to tell me about her work experience. She said she worked at INEC as an administrative officer, the people that coordinate election. So she said, I'm an admin officer. I talked to somebody else today, admin officer with INEC. By the time I looked at their resume, I ran it. They are project managers. The function they do as admin officer is 95% the function of a project manager. By the time I put in her front, I didn't tell her what role. I just told her, did you do any of these things while at INEC? Say yes. I put 10 things. The first one that I attended to yesterday, she's done all the 10 when she worked at INEC. The one I spoke to today, she's done 9 out of the 10. I now told her this one yesterday. I said, you're a project manager. She said, is that the function of a project manager? Is this what they do? This is what I've been doing for 10 years. I said, yes, that is what they do, this. She said, I know all of these things. I do them. I can't do them in my sleep. Some of you, that is how we will change your life. When we found out the career path that you belong to, then we will realize that career path can actually give you a 6-figure job, a job that will file papers for you. Then you stop to even panic first. The one I talked to today, by the time I told her, look, she looked at it, she said, I can do this. I have done all of this. She didn't even know the job. She thought I was analyzing our own role. By the time she said she's done 9, I now told her, this is what project managers do if they work for INEC. This is what you would do. She said, this is what I do. So why did they give me that title? That title, I know, that's not that title don't work. I said, that title is a destiny killer. When you're looking for a job, the first thing is we want to find out what you have done back home. What is it equal to in that new country? Sometimes where you have worked, they will give you horrible, horrible titles. They will give you somebody else's title. That title may block you from even qualifying for even provincial nominee programs. Because it's just a title that don't get meaning. Now, when we look at your work experience description as a career coach, I will analyze that. I will also use AI to analyze it. So me and AI know if they lie. If me say that, AI say that, no, whatever they call you, it's like this. When they marry you as a wife, you become a wife once they marry you. Immediately you become a wife, you also become a daughter-in-law. You become a sister-in-law. Only you don't get 3 titles. 1 year later, you have a baby. You also become a mother. It's only you. Now you are a wife. That is the title you actually got when you marry officially. But on the job, you have now become mother. You have become sister-in-law. You become daughter-in-law. If they call you a mother, are you not doing the work of a mother? Should you not answer? And in this case, that I was explaining to you that they call this person an administrative officer, but this person is doing 90% of the role of a project manager. Should she not answer? She should answer. But she didn't know until today that she's a project manager. This person has gone and done data analytics class where they don't send them. She don't do them. When she came to me, she said, Doctor, my background is different, but I've done data analytics training. Can I get entry-level role for data analytics? I said, which data analysis? I don't see data analysis for her. She said, I've just finished the training. I know some few things. I said, this person that has worked for 10 years is a project manager. She told me to prove it. I proved it. She's a liar. She cannot lie. So I had to prove it, which I always do, whether you're a liar. Why am I saying this? When you're coming to Canada to work from visitor's visa, that's the first thing we need to find out. Who are you? When we find out who you are, is there any job you can do that you have been doing the work? You have been doing the work, but they've been calling you some wrong title. And then let's find out who you are, who you truly are in this new country. So that we can look at how can we make you win. So can we maximize your 10 years experience in a field that actually has money? Which hire, thank you so much. My brother at Main Stag, we are behind you. God bless you for the work you're doing. It is critical for us to start from there. Who are you? Many people are going around looking for jobs in area they have no business in. I feel like I am tired of seeing Nigerians believing that they have to just go kitikata, doing wrong things that is none of their business. When you come from another country, the job title may be different. The names they've given you may be different. Secondly, what is the criteria to get that job? What are employers looking for? That if they see it on my resume, they will jump on it. They'll want to interview me. Look, if you do that same job in Nigeria and here, the amount of softwares they use in Canada, it be like light and day. You've never used it before. It's hand that you have been using to work, an Excel sheet. Everything they do in Nigeria is hand and paper. Clinical. Here, they are not using no paper. If you want to go to the toilet itself, software if you day for them. If you don't get software. And they want to see all of those softwares. Do you know what that is? So if you're looking for a job, you want to convert to visitor. It's not just about, I've done a session the last time where I show you different job boards, where I show you how to get from the Canadian official job site. This is how to go to Canada jobs and find, this is where to get the job. Go to job bank, do this and that. If you need to understand how to find LMIA job, it is in Job Bank is the first place to go to. Canada Job Bank. Go online, Google Canada Job Bank. The official website, go there. There is a list of companies that can file LMIA for you. All the jobs there is a life I did. I showed you. Let's go and should we do that again today? Please tell me if we should do that today. I can go on my laptop. I can show you how to search through job bank. I don't mind. We can quickly do it. Let me take this to my office and let's do it. Sorry, welcome to my office. All right, we're gonna go to Job Bank on my laptop. One second, I'll show you my laptop shortly. Hello, no audio. Sorry. I was just speaking to myself. All right. So I'll go back from the beginning. This is Job Bank. This is Job Bank here. This is the official Job Bank. Can you hear me now? Can you hear me? Can you hear me? Is it back up? Can you hear me? I believe you should hear me now. So this is Job Bank. This is the official Job Bank. Now you come here. Let's remove anything that is in there. Now let's go here. Advance. You click advance here. Now you can see the amount of job available today. 134,082 jobs available. Now don't click anything. Just go down to almost the end. This is benefits. Before benefits, there is intended applicants. You want to pick this one. Canadians and international candidates. You pick that one. Once you pick that one, the number of jobs went to 34,000 plus. These are the jobs that have LMIA. This job has LMIA opportunity. They can file for you. If you're now looking for a particular job, you can or you want a particular province. So let's say I want Alberta province. I can streamline to Alberta. Now I'm looking for what type of job. I can say what type of job I want. I can say salary. So me, I want from 80,000 to 100,000 and 6-figure jobs. That's it. That's what I want. Now, what are the type of jobs available? HR manager. They want human resource manager, $52 per hour. Now, if I have HR experience from Nigeria, I want this job, right? And then I want to look at information about this job, what's the responsibility and all of that. Then I go to Dr. Hadi's boot camp and make sure that I understand how to do Canadian resume, how to have a resume there is something called, let's finish this. We'll now talk about that. But this is how to get jobs that have LMIA opportunity. remember that people everywhere are applying to these jobs. People from India are applying. People from China, Nigerians, Ghanaians, the UK citizen, even people in Canada already who are permanent residents are applying. The question is, why should somebody pick you for this role over a Canadian citizen? Why should they file papers for you, knowing fully well that they will pay money to the government and start to approve everything? Why should they file papers for you? There are so many different, you can see. You can check through. They have come back. They have come back from the hospital. So, I hope that's clear. All right. Let's go back to where we were sitting before. Sorry that we are moving around today because my office, I didn't put the light on, so it's kind of dark. So I came outside to the living room. So somebody said, I applied to 50 jobs on Canada Job Bank and never got a reply. You know why? Your resume is not passing through the applicant tracking system. Nobody is even seeing it. Your resume is not passing through. If your resume don't pass through, you are like knocking on a door that will never open. If you are that one that your resume even passed through, then maybe the recruiter, they apply what we call the 6-second rule. So there's a gatekeeper called applicant tracking system. It converts your resume to text and then convert the job description to text and match them. If you don't have 80% match rate, your resume is not going to go through. So if you apply for 1,000 jobs, those people telling you to apply to 50 jobs per day, there's an applicant tracking system that is matching your resume to job description. And if you don't have 80% is not going to go through. Now you have tailored your resume directly to the job, word for word. You pass through. The next stage, your resume gets into the hand of a recruiter. The recruiter applies what we call 6-second rule. In 6 seconds, that person wants to confirm that you met the education requirement for the job, the work experience requirement, the competencies they advertise that they are looking for. You've shown that you have the competencies and you have the technical skills and tools that goes along with that competencies. You know what? Jobs don't advertise the technical skills and tools. They just advertise the competencies. They believe if you have that competencies, you will tell us what software, what technical tools you know. Because you are competent, so you tell us what you get. So on your resume, you copy the job description, but you didn't put any competency, and you didn't put the technical skills and tools. You ain't going nowhere with that recruiter. Now, that recruiter wants to see all of that in 6 seconds, which means half a page of an A4 paper. You know A4 paper now? That paper where with a print on that paper. Half a page of an A4 paper where with a print on is what that recruiter wants to look at and wants to find all of the things I said. You met the education requirement, work experience requirement, you have the competencies, you are showcasing some technical skills and tools in half a page of a resume. Some of you here, half a page of a resume, you are still writing your age, your birth state. Half a page don't go. They don't throw that resume, it's going straight to garbage. Or your resume, it didn't actually have all those date of birth. But half a page is almost empty. You use the first 1/4 of the page writing a professional summary that is 16 lines. Attention span of people these days is not that high. They can't read long sentences that are not doing anything. That resume will go. Or you have put these highlights that is not highlighting. Or you just didn't talk about no professional introduction. So you didn't tell them who you are. You didn't tell them how many years experience. Altogether, it's going to the garbage. Sha. If it passed through the applicant tracking system, if it doesn't pass the 6-second rule, you will not hear back. Those two places is where your resume is getting lost if nobody is responding. If they respond once, they did one interview with you, that means you passed through those 2 stages. So you proceeded to the first phone interview. If that phone interview had gone very well, where you wow that HR person, they'll send that resume to the hiring manager. So you'll get a second interview. And if you kill it, during that second phase of interview, there's a very good chance that you get an offer. Let me tell you, I have worked with people that they've brought from Nigeria. So you don't even have to be in Canada. I work with people who have gotten jobs from back home and employers brought them to Canada. But you have to first of all know what is the right career path. Is that the one I'm claiming? How many years of experience do I have? How have I positioned myself? Do I understand the market? Where am I applying to jobs from? Is it the only job, this Canadian government job bank that is available? No, it's not. There are other places you can look at. If you can apply to 200 jobs, you can apply to 2,000 jobs and not hear anything back if you don't change your strategy. If you are here already on visitor's visa, you don't have time. You can't be gambling. You can't be saying, I want to go and start from the beginning. I'm going to cybersecurity training. You should not start from the beginning. Let's use what you have, because if you don't have work experience, they're going to give you no job. LMIA job is usually not given to an entry level. So don't start to run kitikata to boot camp in data analytics or business analytics or cybersecurity. Don't run anywhere. Let's look at what you have. I'm Dr. Hadi. If it's not good, I will tell you, let's go and do school for you. This is not going to cut it. Let's go and do school. If it's going to work, I'm going to tell you, let's run it. But while we're running it, let's run school. If you are, at that point, you are already 4 months in Canada, and you still want to stay, you have to apply for an extension. Apply for that extension before you get to 6 months. So that they can give you, because you have 6 months. When you come in as a visitor, you are only allowed to stay once for 6 months. Even if your visa is 2 years. At a goal, you can't stay more than 6 months, except you ask for an extension. If you're already 6 months now, or you are going to be 6 months in 2 weeks, it may be too late to apply for an extension. If you are in month 4, or you're about to get, or you're month 5, you can still get an extension so that you don't need to leave Canada. Don't become illegal in this country. There are still schools that will allow you start in September. We can look at that option for you, even if we have to call the schools. Let's look. Maybe we can find something for you for September, or we can find something for you in January. You that you have visitors visa, you have not left your home country, or you are coming from the UK, be talking to us now. Come to the boot camp. Let's find out your career path. Let's get you your resume. Start testing the waters. See whether you're getting any responses before you carry your bag. Don't come to Canada and do visitors visa without a plan B. Have a plan B, because this thing is risky. Or else you spend a lot of money, or you go and get into the hand of fake agents who collect $20,000 saying that they want to help you find an LMI job. Don't subject yourself to that. You are a law-abiding citizen. You have a job. You have all of those good stuff. That is why they gave you that visitor's visa in the first place. Don't spoil your own reputation. Please, have a plan. Hey, let's understand what's the right career path. Let's be able to understand the different places you can look for job. And let's position you such that when you apply, you are in the top 1% of applicants. And when it's time for interview, you kill it like you live here. Now, the benefit of being in Canada is you can go to interviews face to face. So they can see you. So we need to coach you that when you go to interview face to face, you understand the etiquettes in this country. You do well in that interview. Look, one of my mentees sent me a message this morning and said, Dr. Hadi, I have a second stage of my interview today. Papa said, I'm so scared on this. I just gave her one tip. She started praying. I said, I couldn't sleep well. I couldn't sleep. I said, Dr. Hadi, today is the interview. Yeah. I want to support you like that. I want to make sure when you have interview, you are going there in person. How do I bring a game changer approach? By the time I'm leaving that place, those people are saying, this is the person we want regardless. Whatever the situation is, we're going to do it for. Filing papers for you on LMI is a decision an employer makes for someone who is exceptional. They don't make this type of decision for you are regular. So when you are trying to package yourself for, this approach of go through visitors visa, you have to show yourself as the top 1% exceptional and the best for the job. Through your interviews, through the application processes, through every step of the way, you're the best for the job, and they get to see you face to face. So that's an advantage. All right. We've talked about a few things today. If you are on here, you're already 3 months in. You're already in Canada. You still don't know the career path. Go and line up for the boot camp. So you can figure out what's your career path, help you understand how do you do your resume, LinkedIn profile, look for job, everything, so that you will know what to do. You want a personalized clinical, join the CAP program. The CAP program, we will do everything for you. We will support you every step of the way. We will edit your resume for you, your LinkedIn profile with you. We will make sure if you have interviews, like I said, I'm talking to somebody this morning, this is what you should do, that. We will support you so you succeed. So join the CAP program. You are not at a phase of, I don't have money. You don't have money. You came to Canada. You think it's in our beans that is spent? Canada is expensive. Traveling abroad is expensive. Let's be telling ourselves this truth. If you carry your bag and come to abroad, and then you pay for school, or you already pay for visa, you pay for all of that, it's time to do career stuff. You say you don't get money. How do you want to stay back here? Your job is critical to staying abroad. Your career is critical. Understanding the basis of what to do is the first thing. Before you go and do boot camps that nobody sent you, warn yourself today. You are on visitor's visa. Before you go and register for cybersecurity class, remember that Dr. Adi has told you, if they want to hire, the preference is people with experience. You should ask yourself, what is my own foundation that I have experience in, that I can get a job in? Because running to that boot camp is not going to help you. And if you are following people who are telling you, yes, Canada has now opened this STEM stream, go and do this type of boot camp. Remember, they need work experience. So now lie, you won't lie. You won't lie, say you get that experience. What you have right now, what can we do with it so that we can use your experience? Remember, even Express Entry requires 3 years experience for a reason. Canada does not want inexperienced people. Even Express Entry requires 3 years. For people who want visitors visa, your case is fast. We gotta do it now. So you don't have 3 years to build work experience. Please. Anybody who is in dilemma, you have a question for me, I want to help you answer that today. But I want to make sure that anyone who is on here thinking about, I'm coming by visitor's visa, I'm in the UK, that you actually get on the next bootcamp or get on CAP program. Let's analyze things for you already before you leave your own country, so that you can have the appropriate plan. Number 2, be ready to find money to go to school. Even if it's a 1-year program, let's find $10,000 or $9,000 1-year program for you, so that you will do that as a second option. At least let's have your plan B in place. If you're already here, I think it would be very beneficial for you to book a 1-hour session with me, because with your own, you're already here, you are 3 months in, we gotta be figuring that one out together. Now. Before it's too late. I don't want it to be too late for any Africans. I don't want it to be too late from anybody. You have a good profile. That's why you got this visa in the first place. I don't want you to become illegal in this country. And if anybody ever told you that if you don't get your papers, stay back and turn to go and do Aduro, no, don't mind them. Go back home. Let's plan for something else for you. There could be a permanent residency route for you. There could be, I talked to one of my clients, the last person I talked to before this, she already got admission to come to one of the colleges in Ontario. She booked a 1-hour session with me, and I analyzed her credentials, and I found out that she qualified for one of the provinces in Canada. She flat out qualified. And then she told me, she said, doctor, she was supposed to come September. All I need now is IELTS. I've written it before. I had good scores. So if I can write it again, do you think I should defer that admission to January and go and approach IELTS and put myself in the pool for this province since I qualified? I told her, yes, proceed. Don't cancel the admission. Move it to January. Write IELTS in the next 40 days. Get into the pool for that province. If they are picking anything, if they do any draw, they will pick you. She's that dope. But she didn't know. So she was going to go to school and spend a lot of money. But there is another option. And that is why it's good to know your option. So now she's going to defer admission. She's going to challenge IELTS. If she passes, she's going to get herself in that pool. They will give her ITA before Christmas. That one's sure. That province was doing 2 draws every month. And she qualifies. I know you may be here on visitor's visa, but you could qualify for something else. Let's find out. Do you? If you don't, let's do school. While you still try to get that job. Yes, we want to help you we want to help you to know how to get that job. But let's have a second plan. I'm looking out for your questions. If there are questions I can help you answer today. New Brunswick, okay? Doctor, Mama, so I'm going to do another video. New Brunswick last year have an opportunity. They said critical worker opportunity, something like that. Which kind of, there's 6 companies that can bring people to Canada through New Brunswick. Next time I want to talk, we'll talk about that. You can get a job with those six companies. Yes. So I'll come and tell you the 6 companies, but you still need to get a job. You still need to present yourself well. Yes, so you still need to either come to CAP or come to the boot camp so that we can get you to arrange how do I always slam dunk any job. If I apply, they have to call me. So yes, we will talk about New Brunswick, maybe in another live section that we will do. All right. I'm in Canada, please. What is the career prospect for someone in healthcare administration? I want to enter into tech industry. My background is medical lab science. So medical lab science on its own is a good career. You want to enter into tech, all right? I always say, don't go from something and go to the far end. In this case, there is bioinformatics. In this case, there is health data analytics. In this case, there is biotechnology. There is some bio plus some tech together where you will feel comfortable because you have a background in bio. Now you're going to add tech to that bio. By going in, I can list 10 different directions that you could go to. There are options for you in healthcare that allow you to pivot into tech without you running away from healthcare. You still get to use your background in medical laboratory science, and then you had some tech on top of it so that you will now be valued a lot more. And then you move from lab, doing bench work, lab work, to office work. All right. My friend is about to pay 19 million for Netherlands. I'm begging him to use it for Canada, but he said he can't wait, ma'am. What is your take on this? He wants to pay 19 million for Netherlands because he can't wait. If speed is better than long-term comfortability, let him go. This is the same case for UK and Canada. UK's visa, 3 months. Admission visa, you don't go. Then you go and enter, you'll be like, what is this? Dr. Hadi, help me. This is fire. Dr. Hadi, get me out of this place. Get me out. It was fast, quite good. That is pretty much the situation of a lot of our people in the UK today. It was fast. They got the admission in 2 weeks. They got the visa in 6 weeks, 8 weeks. They carried their bag. They got to the UK and found out, no, I don't want to raise my children here. No, I don't want to live here. No, the pay scale is too small. No, they're not going to give me papers. Why is everybody like this? What am I doing here? Speed is not always the best. Canada is not fast. 20 million is a good amount to be able to get him to come to school. But all the September admission are closed. Maybe we'll find one, if there is. For your entire process to come to school in Canada, you need 6 months. At least 6 months. If you can't wait for that, let him go to Netherlands. He will call you next year and tell you I told you so. You will tell him I told you so. What is my prospect of coming from Ukraine to Canada with no corporate work experience? You want to come with no corporate work experience. You go to school. That's your option. You go to school. When you are done with school, then you get an entry-level job and work for 1 year. After you work for 1 year, then you apply for your permanent residency under the Canadian experience class. If you don't have any work experience at all, that is the way, because apart from that, every other province or federal program requires minimum of 3 years work experience for you to be viable for provincial nominating program or anything like that. So you go to school and hopefully you get a job after, you work for 1 year, and then you apply for Canadian experience class permanent residency. Okay. I'm in Canada, okay. I'm resuming in August for a master's in management, 1 year program. What options do I have for PR? If you're coming for a 1 year program, I've done a video on this before. You either want to do another 1 year program so that you get a 3 year post-study work permit. If you don't want to do another year of program, then you have to check, do I qualify for either express entry or do I qualify for a provincial nominee program, so that when you are even on this program or maybe after is when you qualify, then you can quickly apply for that provincial nominee program and hopefully you get it within 1 year. Now, if you are in New Brunswick, let's say you're going to do this in New Brunswick, the new law in New Brunswick is that 6 months after your program, they're going to give you permanent residency, even if you've done a 1 year program. So those are some of your options if you're coming to do a 1 year program. Check whether you qualify for express entry. Check whether you qualify for any of the provinces. Try to do a second year so that you can get a 3 year post-study work permit. Or lastly, if it's New Brunswick that you are going, you can get a job and you can get your permanent residency 6 months into 6 months after you have finished your 1 year program. Hello, ma. I have a BSc in chemistry, but I started tech. Please, should I do MSc in chemistry or in tech field? This is a big concern. So tech is a word that is cliche, right? What do you mean, right? If you just say tech, I don't know what you mean. What's the career path you're looking at? I try to look and see whether there are other questions here or on here. I have visitor's visa. I want to change to open work permit. How do I go about it? That's what we've been talking about throughout here. If you have just joined after this has been saved, please go back to watch the full video so that you can have some of the ideas that I provided. That either you try to do school or try to get the help of a career coach so that we can evaluate what you have brought in terms of work experience, in terms of resume, in terms of where you're looking at the job ad, helping you understand how to interview appropriately for Canadian market and negotiating your worth so that nobody is lowballing you so you can get a good job. Yes, you can get a good job on that visitor to work permit conversion, but we have to make sure that we tighten everything. We have to make sure that we understand what you should be applying for, what is your process, what resume are you using to apply, how are you tailoring your resume to jobs, and how are we making sure that your resume will pass through the 6-second rule that a recruiter will apply. And when they call you for interview, how are you performing? Are you impressing them enough for them to say yes to you? They're going to file papers for you. Now, if you ever get an employer who will file papers for you, as you know, you don't have to go back home. Your applications can be in two forms. The first one is flag polling, which means instead of going back home, you go around the flag, which means you go outside the country, not that you go to the border, you cross back in. When you flag poll for so I used to live in Ontario, I lived in Hamilton, which is an hour away from Niagara Falls. So Niagara Falls you can do flag polling there. So when I got a job in the US, I was going to come to the US for work. Now I have to get my work permit, a TN visa I went and did flag polling. which means I went to Niagara Falls border. And from that border, I applied for my American work visa. They gave me at the border. Let's say you got a job now. Instead of applying and waiting, you don't have time. You have been in Canada on a visitor's visa for 5 months. You finally got a job. You only have 1 more month left. So instead of now submitting your application online, put your applications together and go to the border, to Flagpole. When you get to the border, you apply at the border. They will give you on the spot. It should be on the spot. So that way you get your open work permit. If they approve you, you get it there. Then you're coming back home with that visa in hand. The process of having to apply online, it can take some time. We don't want that in this case if your time is about to be up. And this is why you should start the process on time and talk to the right people so that you know what to do on time, so that you can find this job on time. Now, in your case, let's say it's about to be 6 months, you didn't find a job. Go back home and come back later. Because you may probably have 2 years visitor's visa. You have only spent about 6 months. Go back home. Spend the time in Nigeria to meet with Dr. Hadi, to learn all the skills, to do your resume, to start to apply. Then you can come back in and spend another 6 months. Now, hopefully when you're coming back the second 6 months, you start to get interview, you attack, you get a job, you don't have to go back home. Or you may go back home, apply to school, and once they give you school, you come back. Don't become an illegal immigrant. If you have more than 6 months on your visa, if it's about to, you're not getting a job, it's about to be 6 months, go back home. Re-strategize from back home. Let's get everything set up. You start to apply from back home before you even start to come. All right. I'm still looking at any question. I have a degree in engineering, but I don't have work experience in engineering. The 7 years work experience I have is in telecoms. I am above 40. Do I qualify for any express entry? If you're over 40, you don't qualify for express entry. Now, you don't have to have a work experience in engineering, right? I don't know what engineering you meant. Is it mechanical? Is it electrical? You have telecoms experience. What do you mean? Were you a networking engineer? Were you a blockchain engineer? Were you a software engineer? What were you? When you ask me questions, give me full details. I'm an engineer. I'm a career coach who I have a PhD, so I can digest very technical information. If you don't give me the full information, I can't answer you well. Now, in this case, you're already over 40, so you don't qualify for express entry. Well, you may qualify for some of the provincial nominee program, but for some of them, we may need more experience. For some, you're already okay now. Now, I don't know full details for me to further evaluate that. And in this case, you can book a one-on-one session with me. We can look at maybe you even qualify for the US or something like that. Well, you may definitely qualify for something. Don't go back to school. Come and have a 1 hour session with me. Let's find out what your options are so that we can get you to where you need to go instead of coming back to school or trying to go and do visitor's visa. Oga, 7 years experience in telecoms with engineering background. They know they talk to you for visitor's visa. You have a good profile. You can go to the US with green card. Canada will take you permanent resident. Don't come here on visitor's visa. I take or beg you. Is it advisable to apply as a family or go first as a primary applicant? Just secure admission to New Brunswick. I'm still confused on this. I'm a banker with 10 years experience. It depends. If you have money, if you're coming with family, you have to get a bigger house. You have to live in a good neighborhood. You pay tuition if your child is less than a certain age, maybe they have to go to daycare. It's expensive. If they're above daycare, they go to free school. So in my own opinion, my unpopular opinion, come alone. Come alone for a few months, no deterring, settle down with school, know where you can bring your parents and your family to live in. After you've settled down well, then your family can join you 3 months later. At that point, you would have known the vicinity, you know what school you want to send them to, you understand a lot of things better than them coming with you the same time. You are all looking for house, everything is difficult, and you are completely paranoid because you are a man, you want to make sure your family is safe. So please, my own advice, come alone first, settle in for 3 months, let your family join you after. All right, so I'm looking for people with visitors visa who need help. They are the ones we are here for, right? So on skilled visa, I have a registered company. Yeah, if you want to come to school in Canada, we can help you with that. We have admission program that we do. You want to come and work, we can support you to understand how to position yourself properly. Everything like that, we can do. We have an upcoming boot camp. If anyone is thinking, oh, I'm in school right now, oh, I'm coming by visitor's visa, oh, I'm already here on visitor's visa, I need to understand how to position my application. First of all, find out what is my best career path for this country. Secondly, how do I do a resume that will put me in the top 1%, can pass through the applicant tracking system, can make sure that I pass the 6-second rule. When hiring manager sees they are happy, all of that will be taught at the boot camp. I want to know how to interview properly in the Canadian market or any other market. We'll teach it there. Anything else regarding, we also have bringing 2 people. The first person we are bringing is going to talk to you about how to get green card from anywhere. Who qualifies for American green card? You know this process that Canada has, America has the same thing. But it is for some special people. And we will do a post about that maybe tomorrow or next. So that person is coming to break down how do you get American green card from Nigeria, from Canada, from the UK, from anywhere. How do you get that? Who qualifies for it? What's the criteria? She'll break it down. We're also bringing somebody who's going to tell us the state of the market in Canada when it comes to immigration, the new laws, the old laws, the different areas you can look at. They will pretty much talk about that as well. So attend the boot camp so we can make sure that all the work you have done, the 14 years experience, is not in vain. You are not abandoning that to run into cybersecurity boot camp, to data analytics boot camp, to go and start all over. Let's position you appropriately. You deserve a good life. You deserve all of these opportunities that are available. Without a proper position, it will look like they are not for you. It will look like you have wasted your 14 years. I don't want that for you. Some people on here, you got to book a one-on-one session with me. Don't come to the boot camp yet. You should be talking to me one-on-one so we figure out your immigration pathway, which country is best for you first. But a lot of the people will benefit a whole lot from the boot camp. What else do I say today? I want to just tell you, all of us, me and you, especially us Africans, we work very hard. The only thing that is differentiating us from a lot of people like Indians who have numerous opportunities is the right information. When we don't have the right information, everything that we have worked for then look like is not good enough. How do I book a one-on-one session? If you DM us right now, or you go to the link in my bio, you will see all the different programs we have. One-on-one session is $250. The boot camp is $150 and is at $200. We did a sale yesterday or 2 days ago, and we are hoping that pretty much this boot camp we can help you solve some of the problems. People who need it, please proceed, get your ticket for the boot camp. Let's all meet at the boot camp and let's help you understand what's your best pathway. How do you interview for jobs? How do you position for all of the things you're looking for when it comes to jobs? Again, thank you. Meet us at the DM. We are in the DM. We want to answer a lot of your questions regarding how much is an hour session is $250. How much is the boot camp is $200. How much is CAP program is $1,078. And is it on sale? No, it was on sale 2 days ago. It's no longer on sale. We had 4th of July in the US. So, and then on the 1st of July, we also did some sale. And yeah. When is the boot camp? Yes, the boot camp is virtual. The boot camp will happen on the 22nd and 23rd of July. This month, Saturday and Sunday, 8 hours. We are getting baptized in career strategies. We're there for 16 hours. You know what they said that back home, I'm Yoruba, they say Takuti Jesu. You sit down with Jesus and say it must happen. That is what the boot camp is. We will have 16 hours of time together to get to do all the things that we need to do. Well, thank you so much, everybody, for being here. Thank you. I will save this session. Please and please share this session with anybody who is currently in Canada on a visitor's visa or anyone who is nursing the idea of getting a visitor visa with the hope to convert it to work permit. Yes, it is possible. Yes, I have supported people on this journey, even from Nigeria, to get jobs that brought them to Canada or anywhere around the world, not just Canada. It is possible. But now we have to understand, what is your own strategy? How do you position? Always remember, plan A is not enough. Have plan B every time. If you're not left back home, have your strategy in place before you leave back home. If you are here already, please make sure you don't turn illegal in this country. You have a chance to extend. When you are 4 months in, go and extend. If you're already here, you are confused, you've been applying for a job, you're not getting anything, that resume is not working, stop applying for a job. Get help. Get help. So that you don't waste all those time applying and nothing will happen. Know one thing. The right strategy gets you answers faster. I want to support you as much as I can, because Africans, we deserve our bag. We deserve respect. We deserve to be able to be world-class citizens, to live anywhere, borderless, especially when you have worked hard, you've gone to school, you have all the knowledge. You shouldn't have a reason to restart your career from scratch. My last point is that remember that for this process of converting visitors' visas to work visa, if you think entry-level job will get you that, you are sleeping on a bicycle. Your work experience is usually a better channel to get you that job. All the best, everybody. Meet us in the DM if you have questions. God bless you. I will be back here on Sunday by God's grace. See you then. Bye now, everybody.